Hello, everybody. So my name is DFIR, and I'm a cybersecurity engineer. So today I'm going to be talking about the digital forensics and incident response investigations process. So this is some of the things that I've learned and I want to share. So this is not legal advice, please. Consult with your own legal team regarding any cybersecurity and handling process, or any specific legal question you may have. Okay, so be aware of that, of this disclaimer, please. Let's talk about the ransomware attack lifecycle from IBM Security. Any cyber attack starts, as mainly 5 stages. The attackers will try first of all to have initial access into your environments, maybe through a phishing email, or malicious link, or through exploitation of an internet-facing service, or through any persistent mechanism such as the scheduled task, the run keys, the remote access tools, or any command and control server, mechanisms that they will stand up and start, typing command into your environments. The second stage is your post-exploitation footholds. So from there, the attacker will try to stage all the exploitation toolkits, and then they'll move into the stage 3, for reconnaissance, credential harvesting, and lateral movements. After that, they'll move into data collection and exfiltration, because that's why they are here. They are here for. If they get the data, they can extort you, they can publish your data, they can shame you, and the consequences of such things. And maybe they will move on to the stage 5, which is the ransomware deployment. And nowadays it's not commonly seen as the recent years, but nowadays it's the data theft that they're after. So it's a nice thing to have, because while during an investigations, you as an investigator, you might come across some of the artifacts that are indicators of the initial access or the post exploitation. So it can help you know at which stage of the life cycle you are at, and that might help you choose the right direction from where to go. So let's take this scenario where an employee workstation is compromised, and the employee is potentially from HR, and his workstation stores sensitive information. And hopefully you guys have an EDR, an endpoint detection and response, that has notified you of suspicious traffic to one of the malicious site like bupula.com. And this is, you can look it up. So you don't want your EDR to notify you to this domain. So you guys got an EDR. Nowadays not much people have an EDR or even have a security tool deployed for the detection and response in the environments. But hopefully, let's say that there's an EDR that notified you of suspicious traffic to this domain. So from here onwards, we'll be going with following the NIST incident response process. So first of all, you should have a plan. Preparation is key to effectively responding to any cyber incidents. Have a plan. Document all your procedures and processes. Have playbooks. Have them tested. Make sure that they are working, and do tabletop exercise. Inform all your team about it. All the key people, like about the plan that you guys have, and really train on it. And so this is the preparation piece. After that, we move into the detection and analysis. After maybe the EDR notified us, we have to perform some analysis. Try to see if it is a false positive or a true positive. And then after, we may move into containment, eradication if it is a true positive. So containment, eradication, recovery. And after, we'll move to the post-incident activities to try to see, to make a summary of what happened and what we could have done better and all that. But as you can see here, the detection, analysis, and containment process, we can cycle through it many times you can go too many iterations, because sometimes it's really hard to do a full scope analysis, of all the endpoints. Sometimes we may, after an initial investigation, we may find that, oh, there are some other systems that are compromised and we didn't know about it. So we have to do an in-depth analysis and then try to contain and eradicate and recover again. So that's why you can see this cycle around those two. And so around the detection, if you got the notification from the EDRA, you have to review the EDRA notification, and you can create a ticket for the response coordination. You have to create a ticket for sure if it's a true positive, okay? And you have to document the event information, document the event timeline, so that at the end you may be able to tell the whole story. You may be able to put all the parts of pieces together to tell what happened, what occurred, where the attacker have been, what did he do, and you have to list down the IOCs, be it host-based, network-based, behavior-based. List them down, because it will help you for the rapid triage, the rapid analysis of the triage. So after that, you have the context around the notification. You have to perform a host analysis. The hosts that are that are suspicious, you go and you investigate the processes. What are the running processes? And then which user context is running. What are the network connections, that are coming from this, that are going from these processes. So you have to analyze the processes, and any suspicious connection, any open sockets, any files, suspicious files, check for lateral movements. And after that, after gathering all the indicators around this, the processes, the network connection, the files, you can perform an enterprise-wide search for the full scope analysis. You want to know, because you don't want to contain a particular system because it's suspicious. Maybe you may miss the whole picture. If maybe let's say, the workstation, the employee workstation, you may think that it's the only one that is compromised, and then you contain it. But maybe the attacker got the foothold on all the other systems, but you didn't know about it. So, but when you contain that, it will notify them that, you are aware that they are in your environment. And at that time, what they can do, they might nuke your environment. And if they nuke it, you might end up in cyber extension. You don't want this to happen. You don't want to be in a crisis management situation. That would be a very bad day for you. So you should perform an enterprise-wide searches. Okay, and now you can classify the incident to see, is it a false positive, is it a true positive, and what is the severity? Is it critical? Is it high? Is it medium? Is it low? And make sure you have to keep in mind that you may have some data privacy implications. So yeah, and even while searching for the IOCs, in enterprise-wide, you may correlate this information. You may find some piece of information here that will, build up the context around it, and that can tell you if it is a malicious activity or not. So that's very important. We move on to the containment piece. So as a containment process, you may isolate the workstation. So by saying isolated, you may cut it from the network, and deactivate all the affected users and respond to the ICs by blocking them. So you can follow the pyramid of pain that's been developed by David Bianco. It shows how responding to different IOCs makes the attacker life difficult. So if you're trying to block the hashes of a particular file, they may just change the name of the file or just some content inside the file. They put file content, and then your AV tool or your detection tool might miss it. If you are trying to block based on IPs, they might take another IP and then and come back. If you are trying for the domain names, they might spin up with other domains. They might even use the domain generation algorithm mechanism, and generate many domains and still persist in your environment. So you see, but as you move it upward the pyramid, you see that it's become more and more challenging for them. If you're able to counter the tools of the attacker, it becomes challenging for them.
they will not be able to use those tools, But even more, if you're able to block the TCPs, I mean, the technique and procedures, it means, it's the footprint, the fingerprints, actually. If you're able to block those, this is a win. This is a win for you. So it becomes more and more tougher if we are able to block the TTPs of the attackers. So after the containment, we have to move into the forensics analysis process. So we need to collect the artifacts from the media. So from the media, examine the data, analyze the information, and report the evidence. So this is the forensics analysis process from NIST SP. It goes with the collection, the examination, the analysis, and the reporting. As part of the collection, we have to follow the order of volatility and make sure we maintain the chain of custody. And we should make sure that we verify the integrity by creating the hash values of the artifacts, And we have some important considerations while carrying out the forensic analysis. That is timeliness. In an enterprise environment, you want to be, we want to come back to operation. So we have to act tactically. We have to fetch the data that are needed at that time, to respond to the attack, to stop the bleeding, and to recover and come back to business. So you find that in an enterprise environment, we don't always need to take a full disk or some or a full memory image and all that. We just need a tactical data that will help us stop the bleeding. So we have to take into account the timeliness there. And the physical and the virtual host artifact collection, are a bit different, so it will depend. If you want to collect the data from the artifact from the physical host or from the virtual host, there are different techniques of doing so that we're going to discuss. And the type of information that we need is a live response collection and a full disk and memory image. This is the ideal one that we want, because if we can get the full disk and the memory images, so we got all the artifacts we need. And there are two fundamental sources of forensic evidence on the Windows systems. That are the memory, where the running processes are, they will tell you under which user context is running, and any open live socket, open connection or open sockets. And for the disk, we have the new technology file system from which we can fetch the data. We can see the created files, the modified file, and we have the window registries that can help us dig into some of the persistence mechanism of the attacker. The window event log is a quick win for us. If we can get our hands into the event log, Windows event log, you can have a tactical response. You can respond quickly to the incident. And there are other Windows artifacts as well, such as the prefetch, the shim cache, the M cache, the SRAM. All these artifacts are also useful, very useful. And we have also the PowerShell history commands and all that. So these are those two are the fundamental and valuable source of forensic evidence on Windows systems. I'm talking about Windows systems here because in enterprise environment, most attacks occurs on Windows systems and all, So it's key. It's very important to understand how the Windows artifacts are stored on disk and how to collect them. So in a typical case, when you are in a situation of an attack, you need to deploy some collection tools and acquire and upload the important forensic artifacts from the live systems. And some of the best tools out there that you can use for free are as follow. As per my recommendation, we have CAPE, the Core Artifact Parser and Extractor. We have the Magnet Forensics and Velociraptor. And I'll be doing some video, some hands-on, practice, some hands-on showcasing Velociraptor and CAPE, how you can use them and respond quickly and triage and respond quickly to incidents in Windows. So this is cape. If you want to do trash collection, so you can select individual or compound artifacts at once, as you can see here. There's also an option to apply modules to pass the artifacts in one go. This is if you check this box, you have the module that you want to apply to the artifacts and pre-process the data in order to analyze them easily or on the go. We have magnet response as well. This will help you collect volatile data. It will help you collect the RAM, the volatile data information in the system files. You can download it at this website www.magnetforensics.com, and it's for free. Okay. Velociraptor. Wow, Velociraptor is a unique free and open source DFIR tool, and you can even use it as an EDR. Okay, because it has the capability to hunt for artifacts at scale over 1,000 of endpoints within minutes. So you can collect, monitor, and hunt, for threats. So this is the deployment architecture review here. You have the Velociraptor server in in a remote place if you want to use it if you want to deploy it as a client server model. Yeah, you can use this architecture. You have to configure your agents, your Velociraptor agent, and deploy it into the environments, across your Windows endpoints, like through GPUs or any other means. And then you have your Velociraptor server, and then from there you can now start to collect, monitor, or hunt anything you want. And there is an option to collect to create a custom collector, a custom offline collectors. So if you don't want to use it as a server client model, on live, so you can create a offline collector, saving your computer, and whenever there's a case, whenever there's an incident, you just deploy you guys run that collector into the endpoints, and start collecting data and start analyzing them. I'll be showcasing that one. That's my preferred option because it's less costly. You don't need to acquire that live. That can overload your system if you don't have much storage. So, and if you don't have a good bandwidth, so you can just deploy it. And you can do the cape trace as well here. You choose the cape file target, and then because the cape files are some of the is a standard. It is the industry standard for artifact collection. So and it is preferred when there is an incident, when you are under attack, you can investigate any incident, it is suitable for those cases. So for the full disk and memory image collection, we have two types of machines. If it is a physical system or virtual machine, we have two types of collecting them. If it's in a cloud environment, you should make sure that your cloud provider has some tools to collect the memory artifacts or take a snapshot or create a disk image from those VMs. Or if you have hypervisor level access, it's easy. You take a snapshot, or you acquire the memory and disk related VM files. So that's the easiest one. But in the cloud environment, make sure you verify that there are some existing tools and learn how to use them, how to collect the artifacts from your cloud VMs. And as for the physical systems, you can run any memory accession tools, including disk image. You can download FTK image online and run it and collect those artifacts, or you can just do it offline by extracting and copying the physical disk via your web broker. So, as a recap, the forensics analysis goes with the collection first. So you have to follow the order of volatility, maintain a chain of custody. You have to examine data, so process and assess the collected data. You have to analyze the Windows memory and disk artifacts, and you have to report the documents. You have to do reports, your findings and some recommendation. So this has been after the containment. Now we have to do the eradication and recovery. In that phase that we have, we should do the forensic analysis and all. We be cycling through this, until we are sure that everything is safe, and then we stop the investigation. Because sometimes it might take even weeks, to make sure that any system is not calling, is not phoning to the attacker C2 server anymore, or we don't have any remnants persistence mechanism. And after we move to the persistent activity, so the remediation that we can do, I almost forgot this part. The remediation, as a remediation actions, we have to reimage or issue new systems. We have to reset all affected user accounts and ensure that MFA is activated. Block the IUCs as needed and update the rules for monitoring. So we have to monitor the TTPs based on the threat intel. So the IUC we have collected, we can try to look for any related artifacts, any related indicators in the threat intel platforms out there, and then maybe we can tie to a particular group, and from that we can gain more IOCs, we can gain more indicators that we can use and ship it into our monitoring tool, and to better contain and better monitor, to prevent further attack or further spread of future attacks, and make sure to patch the potential vulnerabilities. Because if the attacker got into an environment and it's it got that far, it means that there were some potential vulnerabilities. There was some blind spot somewhere, and you don't want that to happen anymore. You have to increase the monitoring on affected accounts, until you're sure that it is properly safe. And after that, you have to, as I said, you have to report, the forensics report. It may be a consultant engagement or in a court of law for legal cases, expert witness testimony. Or if you after you have to debrief your executives, you have to do some Q&A documents also. Assess and try to see to get the feedback from everybody, and how the incident response went, how the process went, and all that. And you have to list the event in a temporal order, in a chronological order, and resolve any tickets that you might have opened. But don't forget the post-incident activity, like the lesson learned, the gap analysis. Maybe there was a gap, somewhere. Maybe you guys didn't have any visibility, or you didn't have any particular tool or any particular skill, or we didn't know, how to communicate and all that. We have to do the risk assessment of the tools and the controls that we deploy to counter the attack. We have to assess the risk and see if there are if they don't come with some other risks, and try to see if there are any other risks to which we are exposed. And make sure to retain the evidence, because you might face some prosecution, some legal actions. And you have to keep the evidence as per the regulatory requirements that you have to follow. Okay, don't forget that. And do some recommendations. Cybersecurity is all about people, process, and technology. As a recommendation for the people, maybe you might need to invest more in people, like in employee education, in skills, because everything starts with the people. You need some hands-on training. You need to discuss some tabletop about some tabletop exercise. So you need to do that. Maybe you need to do that more often. The process, as for the process, maybe during the incidents, you didn't know who does what, when, where, how, so you can do some recognition there, so that we may lay down who's responsible for what, how, who does what, when, where, and how, and make sure that those processes are documented. The processes and the procedures, in the form of playbooks. They are documented, they are tested, and they are working. Make sure of that. And as for the technology, maybe you can recommend to increase monitoring on some area of the environment of the network and all the systems, the visibility as well. Maybe we need to add some controls. You can say some controls, and maybe we need some detection and response capability in our environment. So really, that's it for the DFIR investigation process. This was my thought process. So this is what I've learned throughout the years and from some of the best DFIR investigators. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was valuable for you, and see you next. And next time I will be showcasing a demo. I'll be showing a demo on how you can perform the forensics analysis, the incident response analysis at scale using Velociraptor and Cape. Thank you very much, and love you guys. Thanks.